Okay, today's lesson we're going to do the 4 stages of closed guard. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Here, lay flat on your back. Slide out this way a little bit. Okay. I was mounted, things were going great. I made a huge mistake, I get bumped over. Okay. Pinch up. Plug in the head, he tries to slam. Avoid the slam. Tries to swim the arm. Pinch the head. The other side. Both hands on the chest. Control it. I lose control of the head. Control it here. Let's go through it again. He stands up. Okay. So, as you can see, if you are on the bottom position when you're training or in a self-defense situation, there are a few tricks that you can use to minimize the damage that he can inflict on you. So that's really what closed guard's all about. You cannot do these drills enough. From the time you start training your first week of class until you stop training jiu-jitsu, you should do this drill and make it just ingrained into your muscle memory so that if ever you have to use your technique, you're going to be able to minimize the damage that your opponent can inflict. So let's talk about the different things that were just taking place and break it down a bit for you, okay? So, lean it up on the bottom position. If ever I'm on the bottom, this is where I want to strive to go. My legs around his back, extremely close, tugging his head and over his arm here, okay? Now, when I'm hugging his head, I have my feet crossed around, knees squeezing, and I'm pulling him forward. I really don't want his head resting on the middle of my chest like this. So what I want to do is lock my feet. I grab all the way over his shoulder, control his tricep. I pull my knees and elbows together and lift his head towards me. I want my head right next to his head, my head up off of the ground. Okay? Can you turn my body? So as you can see, my head is completely safe. Try to punch me in the face. Okay. So from here, what happens is he's got a couple of predictable reactions. The first one is he will try to slam you. What I want to do to avoid the slam is uncross my feet as he's picking my body up off of the ground, but I still want to hug his neck. So it looks like this. He goes to lift, I uncross my feet, I keep my butt down. As he goes to slam me, I just close the legs again, so I absorb all the impact of that blow. Can you turn me to the side? We'll look at the same thing. So he goes to lift, uncross. My butt raises a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad as if I keep my legs locked around him. That's going to really be a hard blow. Second thing he'll try to do is he'll try to push on your body in order to create distance. What he wants is to create space so that he can drop punches down. So let's say he goes to move his arm and push on my chest to create space. I don't want to try to hold the position. I want to dissolve this arm that's on my body and quickly get it back to a position to where my head is safe. Okay, so if he goes with this direction, here we go. Can you move my head once again? Back towards the camera. Very good. If he were to go on the opposite side, okay, I have a little bit of a problem. Go ahead and push. If I go to swim here, his head's going to get away before I'm successful, and then I have a problem with space. I'm not controlling the space. So I would like to always control the head if possible. That's going to be my goal. So if I feel like he's getting his hand on my chest on this side, I need to change my hands, put my head over here, and then swim to this direction. Okay? If you were to go with that hand to push, same thing. Hug the neck first. Keep my head really tight, swimming. My head is always on the same side as the overhook. Okay? One common mistake here, go to swim with this hand, please, is to try to dive in the wrong direction. If I go here, it's not the end of the world if I land here. There's some things that I can still work with. But number one, it's easier for him to hit my head. And it's easier for a big guy to just lock onto your neck and squeeze your head. So like I said, isn't the end of the world, but we like to make our life a little bit easier. So whenever you're doing your swimming movements, you're going underneath and going right back to the top. Okay. Sometimes, although you'd like to do it like that, he's going to get a little bit ahead of you in the move and get both arms on your chest. Now, if I swim, he's too strong here. So as soon as I go to swim, he's pushing with both hands, and I start to lose the position. His head gets straight, and once again, we have a problem with space. So what I want to do here, when I sense both arms, both forearms on the chest, is I'm going to open my legs, shoulder walk a little bit back. I'm always pulling his head down my stomach. Put the foot on the hip, and squeeze my knees together. Let's check and see if you can hit from this position. Very, very difficult. Turn to the side and let's look at it from a different angle. So I was stage 1. He gets both arms on my chest. Head control, open, wiggle away. You need to make a little space here. Foot on the hip, squeeze the knees together. Test and see if your friend can hit from this position. It should be kind of tough. Okay? Sometimes in this position, you're going to mess up and lose control of the head. Anytime that I lose control of the head, I need to change my my plan a little bit. So let's say he's real strong, powers out, I lose control right away. I got to put a block between his body, his weapons, and my face. So notice here, his arms were inside. Now my knees are on the inside of his arms. I want to go with monkey hook on his elbow on each side and spread my feet apart so that my forearm bone is connected to my thigh. Common mistake here is to keep your knees too close together. So look, I'm trying to control here, and it's easy for him to move his arms in and out, and he gains a little bit better position on me. So I actually want to flare my knees apart. Right here at the elbow joint is where I'm making my connection, and I hook with my hands on his triceps, and then squeeze here. I don't recommend gripping the gi because you don't want to become too dependent on it. Plus, I think you get actually better control just by hooking your arm deeper on the back of the tricep. Okay, let's turn it and look at that from a different angle. So we were in this position. He pulls away with his head, block, and here's your connection. Now, there's 3 reactions he's got from here. He's going to try to move around you, get around your feet, in which case you're just going to catch a ride with him. No problem. The second reaction he's going to have is he's going to try to really crash through this barrier that you created by putting all his weight forward. When you feel him get heavy, move your head to the side and pull him right back in to the first position. Very important to move your head to the side so that you don't headbutt yourself. You're going to knock yourself out. You don't want to have a trip to the dentist here. So, especially in class with your friend, make sure that you do it slowly. Head to the side, back to the closed guard. Okay? The last reaction that he's going to have is he's going to try to stand up. Now, what I want to do is make a little bit more space by extending my legs, and look, I keep my bottom up off of the ground, and I like to say my prayers right here. The reason I do this is just in case I mess up, I don't do the technique perfect, I have some protection here and some coverage. Alright? If he's at this position really trying to get crazy, you'll start to feel his body weight get really heavy here. If he puts his feet back a little and really tries to reach forward and reach my face, once again I want to move my head to the side, take a foot off, and get ready to intercept the strikes right back to the position. Okay? Let's slide back just a little bit. So now that we've looked at kind of the 4 different ranges, let's put them all together, kind of a free flow drill. Like I said, you want to do this over and over and over and over again. Every single day you train, it wouldn't hurt to do this for a couple minutes. It's going to really make your guard more effective in terms of minimizing damage. So, stage 1, he goes to slam. Uncross your feet, butt low. Absorb the impact of the throw here. He's swimming a little bit. Always replacing, looking for that overhook. Change the head position if necessary, keeping your head up off of the ground. Change the head if necessary. Now both hands on the chest. Head control, shoulder walk back, foot on the hip, and squeeze. Okay, here we go. Let's say he's real strong, I lose his head. Knees come in front, and control here. All right, move around a bit. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Drive forward, head to the side, back to the closed guard. Slam. Swim a little bit. Back to here. Lose control of the head. Block. He wants to stand up. Say your prayers. Hips up off of the ground. Head to the side. And right back in to the closed guard. Okay, that's going to be the foundation from which a lot of your submission holds are going to come from. But more important than submissions, like I said before, not getting hit in the head. I think that you want to learn this sequence first before you start trying to put submission holds into your game from your back. And anytime that you are on the bottom position, this is the position you're striving to achieve. Your legs between his weapons, which would be his punches, kicks, headbutts, that type of thing, and your face or neck. Okay? So good luck with the drill.